yes, the classic, how do I stay motivated question. Thanks for joining me, guys. My name is Brendan. I've been a fitness coach for over 15 years now, and I continue to make strides with my own goals and my own fitness. And one of the most common questions that I've gotten over the years is, hey, Brendan, how do I stay motivated to eat healthy and exercise? Because I don't always want to do it. And I have a trouble doing it when I don't feel like doing it. Well, let me break this down for you real quick. And I don't want to make this all about me. That's not what it's about. But it is Thursday, December 12th, 2024. When I woke up this morning, it was negative 19 degrees. The sun's going to set today at 4:22 p.m. I live in northern Minnesota. And when I went out to warm my car up this morning, I was assaulted by the weather. And I have to come in here in the morning. I have work to do at the gym. Then I have cardio. Then I'm doing this video. Then I'm going to my restaurant to open it up and work. Then I'm coming back to the gym to coach athletes this evening. Then I'm going to do some cardio. Then I'm going to go home and make time to spend with my children, which is one of the most important things to me. I don't just have the time show up for me. I don't have the motivation just show up for me. As a matter of fact, if I only ate right and exercised when I was motivated, I would still be fat, I would still be weak, I would still be clinically depressed, and I would still be broke. And this is the truth. The truth is that motivation is a season. It's gonna come and go. You're not always gonna have it. But if you rely on motivation solely to do the things you need to do, you're gonna be left behind. There are also some tricks that I've learned over the years to keep momentum. And momentum is by far more important than motivation. Once you have momentum, once you're moving in the direction of your goals, it doesn't take as much energy to get started again. But the truth is, what's more important than motivation is consistency. A high level of consistency over a long period of time and under various levels of stress. And I'm not the only one like me. There are millions of people like me out there who just learn to do it anyway. I know what it's like to be overweight. Let me see if I can get some pictures up for you here. I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to decide to binge Netflix rather than go for a run. I know what it's like to go through the drive-thru instead of prepping some healthy meals. I know what all that's like, and I know it sucks. I know my life was miserable when I lived like that, and I know my life is pretty awesome right now. And it's awesome because I make the hard choices now so my life is easier later, rather than making the easier choices now so that my life is harder later. To me, it's a pretty rational decision. And I don't rely on motivation. Sure, it comes, and when it comes, nothing changes. I still do the things I need to do. But when it leaves, I also do the things that I need to do. And I found some ways to keep the momentum, and that's what we're going to talk about next. So join me at the whiteboard for some practical ways to keep your momentum. Now, we already discussed how motivation is completely unreliable. It's going to come and go with no explanation. And so you can't rely on it. So you have to have momentum over motivation. And I've discovered several ways to keep the momentum going over the years. One of the best ways is to set goals, and very specifically, metric goals. Metric goals have to do with numbers. And I'm not talking about a scale-based goal, although some of you out there, likely all of you statistically, need to lose some weight. But the problem with a scale-based goal is this: weight loss is never linear. It doesn't just go down like that. Real weight loss actually looks something like this. Over time, your lows get lower and your highs get lower, but that's what weighing yourself in every day or every week looks like. There's ups and downs, and ultimately, if you're moving in the right direction, that's what matters. But we can't set a metric goal for weight loss. A metric goal for running, however, is going to let you know definitively that you're moving in the right direction. For example, if your goal is to improve your 5K time and you work really diligently and regularly at decreasing your 5K time, then you know definitively that you're moving in the right direction. So you got to set a goal based upon metrics. Weightlifting is another great thing because you will know definitively if you're getting stronger or if you're not. If your squat and your bench and your deadlift all increase even marginally over a long period of time, then you're definitively moving in the right direction. And this puts you in a positive feedback loop. If I'm tracking how long it takes me to run a 5K or a mile or whatever your distance is, and I'm also doing weightlifting, maybe not at the same time, but these two things are going to let me know that I'm going to do something and I'm going to get positive feedback from that thing. If the time is always going down, then I know I'm moving in the right direction. I don't have to guess about it. It's not emotional at this point. It's metric, it's statistical, it's a fact. That's why when choosing goals, you have to choose metric-based goals that are non-scale goals. The second thing is you've got to mix it up. You've got to mix it up. You can't just do the same thing all the time. You can't just have the same modality of training all the time. It's going to get old. It's going to get boring. You're going to stop showing up for it. And this feeds into the first one. If I want to improve my running, I'm not going to try to improve my weightlifting simultaneously. I'm going to set a specific time of the year aside to increase my running capacity, and that's going to be when it's nice out, obviously. And then when it's not so nice out, I'm going to focus on lifting more weights. This is going to set two distinct periods in time to where I'm focusing on two totally different things. And when I get tired of running, now it's time to lift weights. When I get tired of lifting weights, then it's time to focus on something else. I generally have about 4 of these each year that I focus on. And I set 3 or 4 months aside for each one of these goals. So by the time I'm bored of one, it's time to move on to the other. This has worked really well for me and everybody else who's done it over the years. The third thing that we have to talk about is mindset. And I'm not talking about keeping a positive mental attitude. As a matter of fact, I don't really believe in that so much. I think that the idea of just staying positive all the time is much like the idea of motivation. It's just kind of impossible. Instead, you have to be a realist. When you have the proper mindset, you are aware that things are going to suck from time to time. You are aware that things are going to be very difficult. You are aware that you're going to be your own worst enemy and you're going to procrastinate. You are aware of all of these things, so when they show up, when's it going to show up? Oh, here it is. Here we go. And it's an opportunity for you to be a better version of yourself. It's an opportunity for you to jump over another obstacle. It's another opportunity for you to stack the proof that you are who you think you are. Mindset is everything, but it's not what you think. It's not just staying positive all the time. It's being well aware that things are going to be hard. It's being well aware that monkey wrenches are going to get thrown into your plans. It's being well aware that your schedule is going to get messed up from time to time. But also, you're going to do it anyway, because that's who you are. That's who you've decided to be. So mindset is super important. The last thing we're going to talk about is community. It's so massively important to surround yourself with people who are expecting you to be there, who are expecting you to show up and give it your all, no matter what you're going through. And to be honest with you, a lot of the times when I'm just not feeling it for me, for whatever reason, at that point, I'm not even doing it for me anymore. I'm doing it for my people. I'm doing it for my tribe. I'm doing it for my community. So having a community is massively important. And it doesn't matter where you start this. There are fitness communities everywhere. You can go join a step class at your local Y. There are plenty of opportunities for you to just jump in at a group training class at whatever local gym and just get going with a group. Any movement's better than no movement. Doing something is always better than doing nothing, and it doesn't have to be optimized. Getting a community is important because once you get in with a group of people and you start to consistently show up and they're consistently showing up, you can build on that with each other. Then you can move that community in whatever direction that you guys need to go into. And you can start having honest conversations about eating healthier, about making better choices for your kids, about more exciting ways to move your body. But I can't emphasize enough the importance of community. So let me just wrap this up real quick. Motivation is a non-issue. It's going to come and go. You can't control it. Momentum is much more important. When trying to prioritize momentum, you've got to set goals that are metric-based. Goals like running and weightlifting will steer you in the right direction. They will let you know definitively if you're doing the right thing or not. And if you're not, you can put more effort and energy into it to where your metrics decrease. Your 5K time gets lowered, the weight on the bar moves up. You've got to mix it up. You stick with the same thing too long, you're going to get burned out, you're going to get bored, you're going to get tired. So mix things up as appropriately as you need to for whatever your specific goals are. Mindset is also very important because things aren't going to be sunshine and rainbows all the time. Unfortunately, that's just not how it works. Shit's going to hit the fan periodically, and you got to know that that's a natural rhythm of life, and you need to learn to be able to push through it. And the easiest way to push through it is to do all of these things with a community of people. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for showing up for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share this with anybody you think might benefit, and I'll see you guys next time.